It's fun, crazy. It's painful, but it's wonderful. What is the name?
It's Reusse Unchained.
Patrick, do you think Vikings fans are going to be okay? Are they going to make it?
It's they are certainly working hard to find other young quarterbacks who struggled. They're trying to compare this kid to the Josh Allen and everybody else. I heard that some of them were breaking out Dante struggling when he was early. Of course, Dante didn't, just like this kid, didn't play his first year.
Yeah.
He didn't practice, and then he played his second year, and he was actually good. So, not, he had some issues, but it's not comparable. But I think we should just spend our time fretting about him and not to try to defend him. So. A lot of people are being realistic here and saying this is right now, this is a bad looking situation. And the fact that, you can find somebody else who had many of them have struggled their first year. I don't know if anybody's ever struggled like this, though. It was, his stats are incredibly rotten. And the fact of the matter is, on Sunday, he wasn't facing some fierce pass rush that caused all these problems. A lot of the times he just threw 10 feet over a guy's head. And I just can't understand the explanations that O'Connell's trying to give us about it. It makes it sound like he's dealing with a high school sophomore here who's trying to learn posture in the pocket and stuff like that.
That's a
I
new
mean,
one.
the basics of the basics of you know throwing a football, making it seem like it's the most complicated thing in the world is just kind of I don't think O'Connell's handling this well either, because he's I don't think he likes to be constantly questioned on his development of a quarterback and things like that. So anyway, it was quite the horse show on Sunday, though. It was a that second game, when he was dreadful, they could give him the excuse of the ankle in the second half, and they can give him the excuse, but there was no excuse for yesterday. It was brutal. I mean, for Sunday, it was brutal. So what were you out there yesterday to see
No,
the
no, I
Ashes?
could not make it out. I watched it though, and O'Connell looks he looks exasperated with everything. Like not just the
Mhm.
questions, but yeah. The new thing is posture in the pocket, which I've never really heard of, but I guess it
Yeah.
makes sense. But now the posture in the pocket's not good, and what I want to know though is so where this will get interesting is at the end of the season, if this continues, right? They missed the playoffs, they finish in
Yes.
last place, let's say. What's the finger pointing in that building like? Because there's all the
Yeah.
free agents that didn't come through. There's McCarthy. Like there's going to be a lot of guys going out. Hey, you got to look what he did, Ziggy.
Yeah. And the AD, the general manager is going to be gone before the coach is. So
Mm-hmm.
if the Wilfs, but the Wilfs have
Great.
proven in the past that they don't like this stuff, spending the amount of money they're spending, and some head might roll. There's no doubt about it. They're not going to stand up and and say, well, we'll get them next time. I do think that they'll probably look for a scapegoat, don't you?
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
they spent too much, and I'm sure that they feel dumb now because they were sold on like this, as we all were, this vision of, hey, we're going to bring in all these veterans to insulate the young quarterback. The young quarterback's going to be fine. And you watch these games, and I think the problem too is almost all these games are winnable.
Hmm.
Like the Bears game
Oh,
you led,
well, the
the
Bears were.
Baltimore game, Philadelphia.
Caleb was terrible. Caleb Williams was terrible. I thought in the second half he was brutal. It was the Bears played lousy,
Yep.
and you managed to, the Bears did everything they could to try to lose the game,
Mm-hmm.
including let you go down and let McCarthy have his one, uh, you know, drive, and at the end of that drive, elect not to cover a guy who ran into the end zone without anyone paying any attention to him. Addison for the touchdown.
Yeah.
And then, the Caleb was, I don't know about Caleb. He won't throw the ball. He won't get rid of the ball. It's not that he can't, but what does he not like to throw it into tight areas or what? What's his problem? Why doesn't he get rid of the ball? Did you ever see a quarterback turn his back to the defense more than this guy?
No, yeah, that's what he does.
He's he's always retreating, and he would drive me nuts if I had him. I mean, he's a fantastic athlete,
Yeah.
big bruising athlete, but considering he now has played what 20 some games in the league. I think he stunk the other day. I didn't like him at all. So but I do like the fact everybody's saying, well, it isn't JJ's fault if they defend the kickoff return, they win the game, and
Oh
JJ
no.
wins it. And then we all say he's a hero.
No,
No,
we
no, we
don't.
don't say he's a hero. He got booed. He got booed.
Twice.
His stats are worse than Christian Ponder's. So at this point now they can say, well, Christian got to sit around and wait for 6 games. Well, this guy waited for 5 games after he played his first two. So
Yikes.
and a whole year. So I don't know. What do you think? What he did? Is it is there something going on in the brain too with him? Is he immature up there or what?
No, I don't think he's immature. I do think he looks. I mean, he has looked consistently almost all the time. Like the game is so fast, and so I do think that that's a problem. I think he's mature. I think the issues are, and this is the scary thing because hopefully it can be fixed. I think they're telling the truth. I think he reverts to these just brutal mechanics, and that's why you cannot throw 42 times. Now, I thought the play calling on Sunday was fine. Like
Yeah, he tried to
Sunday
run a
was
little
on
more.
him.
Oh yeah, no, no,
That's not
no
O'Connell.
question, no question it was. But it is funny to. I listened to Barrero for a little bit yesterday, and I was driving up here to Moorhead, and they were all there was a crowd of Viking listeners who were mad at him for the level of criticism that was taking place from Pete Burcich and Chris Carter and some of these guys who
How
were,
about Chris Carter? Chris
Chris
Carter
Carter.
shows up at the game and piles on.
Oh yeah, he was ripping him, but I think it was funny to have him appear. Can you imagine
Oh,
what this kid would be getting in abuse if he had Carter and Moss both walking over to him, telling him how rotten he was, and
he'd
throw
be
the ball at
retiring
him?
right now.
He would be mentally. He would have to go into a home for
He'd be
about a
calling it
couple of
quits.
weeks. Yeah, because I mean, everybody's making a big deal about Jefferson getting very visibly frustrated once.
Yep.
This would be every play. Nobody ever. I mean, one of the most hilarious things in Viking history is when Dante was playing with Carter and Moss, and they would take turns going over screaming at him no matter what went on the field. They were bad when the other guy caught the ball. So it would be unbelievable what he was going through. But I don't know. It's this whole this whole thing now about the number one thing to me that made me I listened to it in the car yesterday, almost drive off the road, was when at the end O'Connell told us how outstanding McCarthy's pre-snap and calling out
Yep.
coverages and stuff.
The
How great
tinsel.
he was pre-snap. We just have to straighten up the post-snap stuff. Oh, really? Okay, those two things are equal, are they? Pre-snap, post-snap? I don't think so. So
He's looking for whatever he can. And you can tell he is O'Connell. You can tell he's going
mhm.
through it. Like He's like,
Yes.
this is not what I thought by what week what was this? Week 11. This is not what I thought was going to happen.
Oh, heavens, no. I mean,
O'Connell.
you know, no. I mean, they've been shocked by this, and you know, it's it's uh, it's incredible to see them in panic out there, and their very loyal fan base, just kind of looking for reasons that they're rotten beyond the fact that here's my question yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
How much different, how much less strength do they have at all positions than all positions than last year when they were 14-3, except at quarterback? How much how much different is there here? I mean, the offensive line, they weren't healthy last year either. The the defensive line allegedly was improved and was okay. The defense hasn't been quite as good as they were last year, but there isn't that much difference between a 14-3 team and a 4-6 team, except the quarterback play. That's the
They're not getting
number
blown
one
out.
thing, huh?
It's not like they're getting blown out. Like
No.
the majority of their games are close. So yeah, you could have easily won Philadelphia, Baltimore, Chicago, Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm. You know what though? The team they're going to play this weekend isn't bad defensively, but their Green Bay is struggling mightily too. They look terrible. Love had to bail them out again, but they were having a frightful time stopping the Giants. For goodness sakes, this is a this could have been three straight losses to terrible teams from that by them. So
Yeah, it's
I
true.
I I I think that and when you see this was going to be the greatest, this was going to be such a rugged division. When you see the Bears, the worst 7-3 team ever, leading it, and Detroit getting beat again, they're what, 6-5 now? Detroit 6-5 or six and
I think so. Here, I'll look. But yes, it's not. And Chicago's defense, by the way, is putrid. That
mm-hmm.
defense is not good. They are. You know who these Bears are? They're the 2022 Vikings.
They're yeah,
Bad defense that gets turnovers, which saves you.
yes,
And they're a team that they keep winning these close games, and you keep saying, how are they doing that? And they
yeah,
keep the Lions, Patrick, are 6-4. The
six
Packers are
and
six
four.
three and one, and the Bears are 7-3.
The Lions last week, last Sunday, Goff almost got killed. Philadelphia it was unbelievable. They had a second and a half to pass. He was just getting. Oh, I just watched the fourth quarter, but it was a track meet to the quarterback. And then when they got there, they had bad intentions too. Philadelphia, they knocked the living hell out of him. So I
The
don't.
Vikings got 7 games left. You put McCarthy in, you play him in every one of them unless he gets
Yes.
hurt, and because you're going to have to make some sort of decision. He's got to make some progress.
Okay, I gotta tell you one thing though, and it hasn't come out yet, but it'll probably sneak out during the week. He apparently was not that he was sick to some degree on Sunday because the baby had gotten sick, the wife was sick, and the family was having health problems apparently, and that
Wow.
once again proving that Jacques Lemaire was right. You got to stay away from the babies. So that's you know, but I will give them credit.
This is a scoop, Pat?
Well, I
I
don't
didn't
know
know
if it's
about
a scoop,
this.
but I don't know if it's a scoop. But I give them credit for not using it as an excuse because the person who told me this uh, said that it really wasn't an excuse for the performance, but he was not feeling well last. few days of the week. So, because of that little germy thing that he has at home that helped get
This
him.
baby has caused more problems in the
Yes, yes,
2025 Viking
yes,
season.
it is. Jock would make him move out of the house for the playoffs, man.
The Vikings have a hotel across the street from TCO, Pat. That Omni
Yes.
Vikings Lake. That's a gorgeous hotel. You know what? I bet we could get McCarthy the suite.
Oh yeah, you probably could do something. Get free, yeah, free
Oh,
probably. So,
yeah, absolutely free.
mhm.
Absolutely free.
Okay. Well, there's
We'll
it's
see.
too bad the public didn't know about him not feeling well.
So the bad hand, he had the bad hand
Getting,
and he was sick.
yeah, and plus Josh Allen wasn't any better when he was a rookie, although he was. But anyway, yeah, it's pretty phenomenal. Meanwhile, your
Yeah.
Minnesota Wild.
Woo.
See, here's a good example of don't give up too soon. Because Wally, who couldn't stop a beach ball and had to end up going back to Des Moines a couple of years because he couldn't play, he's now Wally the Wall, man. He's two
Yeah.
shutouts. He's fantastic. And all of a sudden, they aren't giving up any goals. So what are they? All the panic over them has been relieved in a hurry here. They've sure been home a lot, though. Man,
Oh
wow.
God, yeah. You know why? Because they are during the World Junior Championship break,
Yes,
they're gone for a long time. I think that's why.
they may be playing the stupidest schedule in the history of sports between being gone all the time and then the league. I think in February, they play on February 3rd and the next game's on February 26th or something
The
like that,
Olympics.
right?
Yeah, they shut down.
Uh, I know, but they do. But that seems a little long to me. Was it? Is it last when we've done that in the past? Has it been 3+
Yep.
weeks? Man.
Yep. They just shut her down. It drives me crazy.
Well, plus then the players have to come back and play 5 times a week, and that is not a game intended to be played
No.
5 times a week. So
No. And the majority of players then go off to, nice
have a good
beaches
time. Yeah.
and come back. And it does not take, I've always been amazed how quickly, because they're in such great condition during the season, how quickly athletes can get out of shape and then they have to get back in shape.
But
Because,
here's what's great for them. Their best player doesn't have they can while the best players from the U.S., Canada, Sweden, all these other guys are out there just getting the crap kicked out of them. Your best player is going to be down in Bahamas drinking margaritas and hanging out with whoever he hangs out with. Boy, talk about a guy who's a prominent athlete that we know nothing about. He's Kaprizov's pretty high, right? He's has anybody ever done a inside Kirill Kaprizov's life piece?
I mean, it's been attempted, but the problem now, Pat, is back in the day with travel budgets, somebody would have gone to Russia, right?
Yes, right.
I think Russo's been to Russia, but I think it's been a while. But no, like we know a little bit about his family, and mom and dad are still there. They come to a game, but he could easily be profiled in a
Yes.
way that we might know more, because I think you're probably right. I don't think we
Well.
know that
Plus,
much.
the other part of it is, if that story is going to be done, it's going to be done by big NHL media from
Yeah.
not the local newspapers and local outlets that are going to get that one. So, but I don't know anything about him except we were worried about him after 7 or 8 games, and now we aren't worried about him anymore because he's
Do
making
you know who
plays.
would love their current style of play? Jacques. They've got
Oh
like
yeah,
it's not that boring, but they are now playing like they realized the most important thing was somebody told them you aren't that good, so stop trying to play like you're good.
yeah.
Just play, functional,
But
boring checking hockey.
the difference with hockey players is they often listen. Other
Yeah.
players, you could tell the why. You could tell the Timberwolves to do that, and they say no. I want to do what I do. So yeah, it's here. What's I got a one question. What? So you can be a mediocre player your whole life in that game, and all of a sudden you can have a 20-25 game run like Johansson. What's going on with him? Johansson,
1 year
he's a machine.
contract,
He's a
800
machine.
1 year contract, 850,000, and I think he is a
Wants to get
great
another one.
he's a great player when he doesn't have security. He's a good player. He's not great. He's
Okay.
a very good player. If you take away his security, he's the type of guy that should never get more than a 1 year contract and should never have a no trade clause, which he currently has some sort of.
Oh yeah. Well, that's. I mean, all of a sudden he's a monster. It's unbelievable. And how about the NBA, man? We got these we got these teams traveling around where nobody plays. Denver, Dallas last night, they got 7 guys out.
It's
Kyrie's not going to play this year. Anthony Davis, what's what's Charles got the greatest nickname for him ever? Street clothes. He calls him. Charles calls him. Charles calls him
oh
street
god, that's
clothes.
great.
Anthony
That's great.
Davis. So, because that's the reference TV. He's in street clothes tonight. He calls them street clothes. So
I almost
that was
went.
a thriller.
I almost went last night, and then I saw on Twitter at about 5 o'clock who wasn't playing for Dallas,
Yes.
and I said I don't need to see this live.
So the Dallas general manager, who obviously traded Luca with the permission of ownership and maybe at the urging of ownership, and now everybody's hurt, got fired because there was a bad trade, which obviously was not. You think he traded? You think he walked in and said, "Hey, I traded for Luca. I traded Luca." I think maybe there was consultations before that happened. Oh, one other thing here. Kirk is back in action, baby. Penix is hurt. We're gonna get what 4 or 5 weeks of Kirk. So the Falcons made a fine decision to keep Kirk around for 50 million or whatever it was. So,
Yeah, unfortunately, they stink, and
yes.
that
Now,
week 2 loss by the Vikings to the Falcons looks worse now.
oh yeah, they're yeah. Remember that was a really good running team, physical
Mm-hmm.
team. Wow, you look out for the Falcons. I think they're 3-7, and they're breaking out Kirk. And
Yep.
Kirk with a bad attitude is going to be something, man. That'll be great.
Hey, did the comments from Derek Falvey at the GM's meetings? Did anything make you feel better about the direction of the 2026 Minnesota Twins?
Yeah, we're really gonna be young. Is that him telling us they're gonna trade Ryan and Lopez?
I think one of them's gone for sure.
Yeah,
That's my opinion.
yeah. It's you know, I think what they're saying is we know you hate us, and we figure if we're gonna do something crazy, this is the time. If we're just gonna keep irritating you, making you mad, this is the time to get rid of more guys because we know you're not going to come to games next year anyway. And then there's probably going to be a work stoppage in
Correct.
2027. And after that, we'll try to win you back. But we know that it's impossible to win you back for 2026. So we're not going to throw lighter fluid on the fire of the anger of fans. So.
I also sense for the first time, and it's very subtle, but I also sense that Falvey is starting to try to distance himself from this mess just a little bit.
Well, I thought he was trying to distance himself something the day after Rocco got fired, and he had his press conference, and he was talking about collaboration, collaboration, collaboration. But yeah, more so than
I have not been
you know.
told. He's just little things like I have not been told. I don't know what's going
Yes,
on.
yes, yeah. Oh yeah, he's is, and this is the fact of the matter is, after 2019, he was a hot ticket in baseball. If he could have
Yep.
gotten out of his If he could have gotten out of his contract here, he could have gone anywhere, a lot of places. Now he's got no options. This is it. There's no boy. I wish we could hire Derek Falvey out there with anybody. So
Yeah, no,
yeah,
he what he was approached by the Red Sox, right, back then.
and didn't they? And we were all shocked that his guy didn't get a job, the GM job too. And now if you work for the Twins, you're a pariah in baseball. Nobody wants anything to do with you for good
No,
reason, I might add. So
no, and the fact that they're now, from a payroll standpoint, making it clear publicly that they're telling agents, "Hey, circle back with us in December. We might know then." So
yeah.
whatever
There.
this
By the
is,
way, I thought was it gonna? I guess it was gonna be at the not until the owners not. I mean, we did have the general managers meetings in Vegas.
yep.
That I thought that's when we were going to find out who the investors are, but apparently not. I wonder how solid those two investors are. By the way,
I have no idea.
Uh,
It's the damnedest thing. Like they don't nothing. And here's what gets me too, especially with this supposed local group. Nothing has leaked out. Like not a name is leaked.
yes,
That's very suspicious to me.
I said this a month ago. This is when we missed Sid.
Yep.
Sid would have had those names 15 minutes after it was
Yep.
revealed. He would have beat the hell out of the entire business community until he got the name.
Or he would have found out that it's all a bunch of hooey.
Yes, right.
In which
It was,
case he would have double bylined a story with the beat person, so the beat
yes.
person would have to write all the disparaging stuff.
Yes,
But
right.
Sid would have got the
Sid would have
like
got credit.
yep,
Everybody would have said Sid got it, and they
100%.
would have been right. This is when he was at his strongest business.
Yep.
I remember that
You're right.
the university was going to hire a new president, and they couldn't. The city side could not get. Had no inclination who it was going to be, and. McGuire called up Sid, and Sid had the name 15 minutes later. So that's that kind of stuff. This was Sid territory right here, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And he would beat him up, baby. He
Oh
would beat
God.
him up, not publicly, but the phone calls. He would have been storming into Joe Polad's office by now.
Oh yeah. Joe would have been running for cover, but Joe's trying to get in the background too. Joe has found out uh, any public appearance he makes is not good. So Joe is. I mean, let's face it. The Polads were better off when ownership was invisible,
Yep.
right? But anyway,
Yep.
it's a disaster.
Hey, last thing for you. The Gophers. Gopher football. So so they had three road, well, actually in my opinion two, but they had three road games. Ohio State, Iowa, which by the way I thought they'd be fine in, and Oregon. And they got their drawers blown
100
off in every one of them.
125 to 19. And it was a very good chance for PJ to demonstrate his excellence in prevent offense. Because the other day, they're 4th and 4 at the 45-yard line with 9 minutes to go, and he sends out the punter, baby. We're not taking any chances because what if we let him score again? Then it would be really embarrassing, right? He's unbelievable. He's such a fraud. I can't stand it. But now they go to Northwestern. That could be a 10-7 game.
Wrigley.
Northwestern's, yeah, in Wrigley,
At Wrigley,
Northwestern.
yeah.
And I heard the great morning host of the other the F of the FM Giant, who had his weekly appearance with PJ. You know, and here's PJ, and PJ is coming on after you got beat 42-13, and the other guy completed 90% of the passes, and he was asked, if as a young man in Chicago he ever went to, if he went to Wrigley Field a lot. That was we tried to avoid the topic of one of the great ass kickings in Gopher history. So it's amazing. As much as there's nobody in town that gets coddled more than this guy. So
Well, and guess what? Still, I would not fire him. I would not. I'd say whatever you're doing, just do it because college football is such a mess.
yes.
It's
But
literally
everything,
hopeless.
but here's the deal.
Yep.
He's getting 70 to 75% of the 20 million, right? That they have to pay the athletes.
Uh
He's
huh.
getting, a Derek Burns or the Burns, which Burns does the,
Oh yeah, I forget his
yeah,
first name.
the dinky town athletes or something. They're working
Yep.
hard, coming up with NIL deals. He's not going to have as much Nike, NIL money as Nike, but it's not like they're over here and they're paltry like they were 5 years ago. They got money. They're spending money. They just ended up having a bad defensive football team this year, and that's the when you look at the Nebraska game, you really can't figure out how that happened because they were great that day, and the rest of the time they've been pretty lousy. But
Yep.
he'll go to some bowl game and beat Bowling Green, and we'll be happy for him. He won a bowl game. It'll be 8 straight or whatever it is. So,
Nope. You're exactly right. All right. Before you go, sell me a car.
Jim Paul and Brett Paul Valley Group of GM dealers. I rocketed up here in one of those here to Moorhead, and it was outstanding. The SUVs at Jim Paul and Brett Paul's are loaded up. We got the Buick SUVs; they're hard to beat. There's three varieties, and right now you got low interest rates, and you got high factory rebates, and tremendous inventory. And the financial people at the Valley Group of GM dealers will make it happen for you. They'll make it feasible for you to buy a new or used vehicle. And by the way, straight out Cedar, 147th Street, take a right, and you'll see a lot of inventory there. And you could pick out a car today.
All right, sir. We'll talk to you on Wednesday. Okay,
All
Patrick?
right. See
All
you
right.
later.